temporarily, we're gonna keep all this stuff, including December, in one of these drawers.
Hey friends,
Let's do that one.
just make sure the volume's all the way up.
Did you bring the,
Happy Friday! Yeah, we're going live a little early today because I'm actually going to talk with the Boy Scouts tonight on bird conservation. So that's why we're going live a little early today, just so that we can be sure we get our Friday live in, because I have that commitment with you guys. And but also I want to make sure I get to their pack meeting tonight on time and early so I can set up with everything. So that's what's going on. So thank you all if you are joining us live. We're here at Wild Birds Unlimited in Joliet. My name is Ellen, one of the owners here. And on Fridays we go live to tell you what's new, what's happening at the store, what's happening new in nature. And first I think I'll tell you what's new in the store. We do have a couple really great events to wrap up March. We don't have anything going on this weekend, but next weekend we have two great events. The first great event is happening on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Who Haven will be here, and they'll be here at 11 o'clock, and hopefully they're going to be bringing a snowy owl and one other bird and some other creatures for us to see. On Sunday, that would be the 30th, we have Kelsey Shaw coming in store at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. to talk about creating pollinator paradises in your own backyard. So if you would like to attend the pollinator presentation, give us a call at the store so I can make sure that we have a seat and reserve your seat for you. Otherwise, the Who Haven owl presentation, or it's kind of like a meet and greet, they'll be here. You can stop in. There's no reservations needed. You just come in and kind of enjoy the birds and the critters that are here. So it should be really, really exciting. If you don't know about Who Haven, they are a wildlife rehabilitator and educator. They're located pretty close up north, kind of in Rockford area, but they are the group that actually brings the pelican for Pelican Watch and the eagle for Eagle Watch. So they're a really great group. They do bring in injured animals to their facility, rehabilitate them, and release them if they can. So kind of a really great group with a really great mission, and they do a lot of great education stuff for their community. So yay to having Who Haven come by. So that's pretty exciting. Other things to keep in mind for coming up in April is on April 5th, we're going to have an in-store presentation all about Orioles. So if you would like to get the know-how on fun facts and information on Orioles, come in for that presentation. It'll be in-store only, not available on Facebook, so you got to come in store and take advantage of that. We also will be save the date. I want you to save the date for our April spring feeder cleaning event with the Will County Audubon Society. It's going to be April 19th. That's a Saturday. It's going to be from 10 to 3 p.m. and you can come in, drop your feeders, and we'll clean them. We can give you a call when they are done. We ask for about a $3 per feeder suggested donation. Those donations go to the Will County Audubon to fund their conservation efforts and other activities that they do, that they host. So really great group and a really great organization, and this activity will be really beneficial to not only your birds and your feeders, because we know no one likes to eat off of a dirty plate, including your birds. So we're going to not only make it more appealing for your birds to eat off of a clean feeder, but it also keeps them healthy and safe. So it's recommended that you clean your feeders every 2 weeks, but you can have the opportunity to get your feeders cleaned by us here at the store, from either the staff here at Wild Birds Unlimited and the Audubon, Will County Audubon members will also be helping cleaning feeders. So it's a great way to not have to do that dirty task, at least this time. And we usually try to have them do a feeder cleaning twice a year. So we do one in spring, and we hope to do one again in fall as a way to kind of, showcase how easy it is to clean feeders, but also give you the opportunity to have us clean it for you. So really great ways. Take advantage of it. Come in the store. Like I said, you can drop it off even the night before if you'd like. And you don't have to pick them up right away. Like I said, we'll give you a call. You don't have to hang out all day. Normally it doesn't take super long to clean the feeders. Just sometimes we do have a line, and if we clean them first come in, kind of first serve. So just be aware that if you come in early and then there's a line, then it may take a little bit longer than if you were coming in later in the afternoon to have those feeders cleaned. This is also a great opportunity to bring the feeders in so that our staff can have hands on your feeders if they have any broken pieces or missing perches, things like that we can repair in-house right on the spot during the feeder cleaning. So absolutely. Oh, great to hear, Valerie. Seeing lots of different, and chipmunks. I know that chipmunks are out. It's kind of a fun time when things start waking up and coming in. It's all so much fun. So lots of stuff going in there. Want to talk about today. We're going to be talking, big portion of today's live is we're going to be cleaning a birdhouse today. I actually saved this one and didn't clean it out prior to, just so that I can do it on a live with you guys. So we'll have the opportunity to take out the nest and everything. I'll go through all the tips and tricks on how to do that. But before I get into the nesting stuff, I wanted to quickly showcase a few things that one thing has come in brand new, and another thing is returning, being back in stock. So first I'm going to show you the item that's back in stock. So excited. Bird feeders are back in stock. So these make great Mother's Day gifts, great birthday gifts, great Father's Day gifts. One thing I love about this bird reel system is that not only does it have a super high capacity for the food, so if you can see on here, really high capacity for the feeder itself. It holds a lot of seed. It has wrong way. Okay, let's hold it this way. Two dual solar panels, so even in pretty low light, you can still charge it without having to bring the camera inside. So that's exciting. And the app that comes with this is absolutely free. So unlike some other systems where you buy your feeder and then you get maybe a month of free subscription on the app that comes with it, this one is free. You register it and the app automatically comes on it. You can ID the birds off of it. You can save. You can save video, save images. It's a really fun way to interact with the birds every day from any of your devices. So really cool way to feed the birds. And don't forget, we have smart houses and smart, not only the camera bird houses and the camera feeder, but we also have one specific for hummingbirds. So that's kind of exciting too. Red-headed woodpeckers. Oh, that's so fun, Kurt. That's so fun. Wood ducks. Oh, that's great. Yes, we have, I need to share your video because your wood duck videos are just so adorable. I love seeing all the babies jump out of the box. We'll share that. I promise I'll share that. These items have come in brand new. We've gotten in some new silver forest earrings. So I think last time I talked about new Jabibo earrings, and those are the ones that are made out of the recycled cereal boxes. They're made sustainable with sustainable products, but they're they have not the pair is not the same, so it kind of leads to really fun conversations with people regarding either those birds or the animal or the conservation topic that you're wearing. So it's kind of a cool way to do that. These silver forest earrings are made in the U.S. They aren't necessarily they're made out of surgical steel. I'm sorry, surgical. Surgical steel. That's right. But they have all these beautiful patterns, and we have some new ones. So if you know someone that loves Silver Forest, now is the time to come in and grab them. These are some of my favorites I grabbed that I saw right away. Actually, I think my mom grabbed them. But we have pretty similar taste, so how cute, right? One thing I love about Silver Forest is, I don't know, my ears, since having kids, have become really, really sensitive. So if they're not made out of the right material, my ears will not only swell up and get all red and itchy, but sometimes it gets hard to keep the earrings in. So these make it super, super nice, super easy, and they come in beautiful styles. They also have a club. So if you're not familiar with the Silver Forest Club, it's, I think if you buy 5 pairs, then your 6th one you can write down on a postcard and send it to them, and they will mail you a free pair. So it's kind of exciting. So if you haven't already, start your Silver Forest collection, get your free pair. But really great things that have just come in, so check out the new stock that is in, all right? Now, the next thing I really want to quickly talk about, because I think 2 weeks ago, because last week we talked a little bit about orioles, since there were some sightings of orioles. I know all of you were wondering what was happening with orioles. But the week before that, we did talk a lot about nesting, how to choose nest boxes and appropriate features for your nest boxes, and how to provide appropriate material for nest boxes. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because I pulled off this image that I told you I would. I told you this is from nestwatch.org from Cornell. They have a lot of information, great resources for blueprints on making your own nest boxes and things like that. But this image I just love, because remember when we talked about the type of bird that you are trying to attract is going to be determined by what kind of box you get. And not only the size of the box, right, but the entry hole. So on this graph here, hopefully I can hold it the right way so you can see it. So if you can tell on here, all these different birds, right, the birds over here are aligned with a certain diameter ring over here. Now, these 2 blurbs that are up here and down here are talking about if you, for example, don't want to give a home to a European starling, then you're going to want a hole size that's smaller than the one, and that's going to the 1.5 inch, right? That's going to exclude them. Everything above that is going to include them. So same down here, they're talking about house sparrows. And if you are not trying to give house sparrows a home, then you're going to want a hole size that is smaller than 1 1/4. Okay, so that's like this 1 1/8 size. So that's going to, limit what type of birds that you can attract. But on the plus side, then you don't have to deal with non-native invasive birds that are claiming important territory and habitat for our native birds. So super, super important. This is a great, great image. I'm going to keep this here at the store on the back counter. So if you want to come in and take a snapshot of it on your phone so that you have it, or you know that you can find this on nestwatch.org, you can find this graphic too, and you can kind of play around and see if you are trying to attract the eastern bluebird. You're going to want that 1.5 size hole to make sure that you're properly providing a hole that's big enough for that bird to entrance it, right? Give it an entry. So that's how that's going to happen, right? I wanted to make sure I showed you that. I have 2 other really cool charts here. This one is actually, I took it down today just so, because normally it's on the wall right over here by their nesting material. But this chart is showing birdhouse specifications for specific species. So if you are asking me, if you want to know exactly the size of the floor, the diameter of the hole, the height above ground, and their habitat preference, this is a great chart to look at. So for example, if you are trying to attract, let's say, the downy woodpecker, right? The downy woodpecker, you're going to want a box that has an entry, a size floor of a 4x4 inches, and you're going to have the hole is 1 1/4 inch, and they want the height of the box or the hole, the nest box, to be 5 to 15 feet above the ground. Okay, and they prefer the habitat that they prefer to nest in is a woody habitat. So if you have a backyard that has a ton of trees, I know many of you, back up to a preserve or just back up to woodland, you're going to have maybe a great habitat for downy woodpeckers. So, but this is a great chart. I, again, encourage you to come in and check this one out here at the store. Snap a picture of it so that you have all the info right at your fingertips. If you want to know exactly how to attract those birds, this has all the information that you need to properly choose the house that is going to be appropriate for them. Okay? Big thing is choosing the right house for the right type of bird. And that's all what it comes down to. We can say that we like certain houses by how they like this greenhouse that's right up here. I absolutely love that, but maybe the hole size or the house size is either too big or too small for the type of bird that I'm wanting to attract. Luckily, we have a variety of really cute houses with a variety of house cavity sizes with different size entry holes so that you can choose one that's appropriate for the birds that you are trying to attract. 3 big things to consider, remember, when you're picking a house for a type of bird that you're trying to attract, you want to consider the size of the box and the size of the entry hole, right? Number 2 is location, okay? Think about their preferred habitat, all right? We kind of talked last time, maybe 2 weeks ago, about us wanting to face the house away from prevailing winds. But that doesn't necessarily mean, that is universal for how to place it. But remember when we talked about the downy woodpecker likes woods, but the eastern bluebirds prefer fence rows and fields, right? Chickadees prefer woods or edge of woods. So birds have a variety of preferred habitats, and you can help them and you can attract more of them if you pick a species that is going to be has the habitat needed that is in your backyard. Okay, so if you have a grassy backyard that is more plains-like, maybe you should consider putting up either a purple martin house or an eastern bluebird box, because those birds would find your habitat very appealing, right? Same thing with woodpeckers and chickadees. They prefer more woodsy landscapes. If you have a woodsy backyard, you have the perfect habitat for those types of birds. So consider that too, okay? And number 3, height above ground. Okay, this is a couple of reasons for this, right? Could be a little bit about the height of the distance from the ground is going to keep them safe from predators. Cats are a big predator, but there are other natural native predators too. So consider that. But also, where you're placing them in the height from the ground is going to be more appealing to their species. So consider those things. Again, come check out this chart. I will try to make it available on our website, but it's printed and available here at the store, and you can come by and take a picture of it whenever you'd like, all right? The other chart I want to show you, and I want to also show you some resources, because with nesting season right around the corner, I want you to have all the tools in your hands, or at least know where to get the tools when you need them for when birds start having young. And some of those things are like, how do I ID nesting, like nests that you see in your yard? How to identify eggs? How to know how long eggs are going to be incubated for before they hatch? How many eggs does a certain species have? And that's exactly what this chart is doing. So this chart has a list of many different species of birds. It's not just our eastern species. It has some western species on there too. But for example, the house wren, and actually I'm going to do the Carolina wren, because technically Carolina wrens are in our area and they actually start nesting in March. And their breeding period is between March and July. Okay, they make a nesting material that they use are twigs and dry grasses. And that's pretty much the same for house wrens too. They start a little bit later, probably April for nesting. But their eggs, Carolina wrens have 4 to 5 white to creamy eggs, whereas the house wrens have 6 to 8 white marked with brown eggs. So they have their white egg with a little bit of brown markings on them. Those eggs incubate for about 14 days, and wrens in general can have 2 to 3 broods in a season. So they'll have at least 2, hopefully 2, successful nesting attempts with young in each of those, and hopefully they all make it through. And for wrens, it takes about 12 to 18 days, depending on which species we're talking about, for them to fledge. So this chart is going to give you a lot of great information as to when you can expect certain milestones with the birds that you are attracting in your own house or in a nest nearby, right? So kind of a cool resource here. This too will be available on our back table. So if you would like to come by, check it out, take a photo of it, will be here for you to do that here too. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is we have another great resources that you can take home, purchase here at the store, and use for many, many years, and you don't have to worry about if you deleted that photo that you took here or whatnot. These items are either field guides or books that are going to kind of give you that same information. One is this field guide. I absolutely love it. It's really lightweight, and it is perfect for putting in that drawer in your kitchen. It's not going to take up too much space, but it's perfect for IDing a variety of different eggs and different nests. Okay, so if you want to know what this nest is that you find maybe in a preserve or in your backyard, that is in fact a Baltimore Oriole nest. That's that beautiful hanging basket, and look at how cool their eggs are. Totally marbled. I love it, don't you? It's very cool. How about this one? Pretty familiar, right? Bright blue egg. No, it's not the bluebird, but it is an American robin, and that is kind of what their nest looks like. It gives you a bunch of information as to like when to look for these nests, where to look for them, like what habitat, right? But also what type of nest that they're building, what it's made out of, and how many eggs, what those eggs look like, and usually some fun facts about those birds and nesting. So this is going to have all of our North American backyard birds in one field guide. So really, really easy, super convenient to have. If you want a little bit more in-depth information on the nesting, eggs, and young, this is a great, great book. I'm going to skim through it just so you can see, but there is a lot of visuals in here too that help you ID different chicks at different stages. Oh, I think I just saw the eagles. They were just so cool. Let's see. Oh, I can't find them now. I lost it. All right. But as you can see, there's different stages of as they grow, and you can it can help you ID them, but you can learn everything from shorebirds to grassland birds, every single bird in North America, whether they make a cup nest out in nature or on the ground or are in a nest box, they're in here, and you can learn all about them in this great, great information book. So this is here. But the other things that we have too, we have some great things for kids that I know many of you have kids or have grandkids that are upcoming ornithologists. And these books, or kids that are just very interested in nature, these books are perfect. I love this book because tons of pictures in here. But the one thing I like so much, well, there's a couple things. Oh, here's the Oriole one again. since we're talking about Orioles last week and now this week. So it will show you great images of what the birds look like. It shows you what the eggs look like, right? What the nest looks like. Gives you a lot of information. But in here too are these little activities. So for example, this one is make a birding blind for bird watching. So they're using a nice big box here, maybe from a new refrigerator, a new appliance. I'm sure you can come up with other resources to use to make a birding blind so that you can watch birds in your backyard without being too intrusive into their world. And you can maybe see some fun behaviors that you wouldn't otherwise see by being this close and kind of hidden from them. So a lot of cool activities. Oh, here's that the hummingbird nest. I figured I would show you that too. How beautiful it is. You see how little? So lots of great information, tips on where to find them, how many eggs, what the eggs look like, and where to find their nest. But great for kids in that realm too. This book is great for all you DIYers out there. So this book is perfect. It has instructions and plans for 15 specific birds and how to make their nest boxes. So all the instructions and the how-to images are in here so that you can go through and learn exactly how to build a nest box that's appropriate for the bird that you're trying to attract. So if you're a DIYer, might be right up your alley. If you are a DIYer but need a little bit more guidance, we have these Make a Wren House kits. We have used them before during other activities that we've hosted at the store, but we do have a couple of these here still available. So if you're looking for an activity, maybe spring break is coming up, these would be great to have in your activity arsenal to give kids something to do. They're relatively easy to do. When we did them here at the store, we just used regular screwdrivers. And then my husband, when we took our home, I told even the adults, you could go in with a screwdriver and kind of zap the screw holes one more time to go make sure that they're really solid and put together really well and to hold onto them. But the kit comes with all the pieces, all the screws and the cable to hang it, and then you can go home and even paint it yourself. So really kind of cool activity to have as nesting season is right upon us. Okay, really quick now that we're done with some of that stuff, now comes to the main event, because today, as I told ya, I'm going to back up a little bit. Maybe we're going to bring this forward just a little bit. Yeah. Move that back a little bit. All right. So, today, as promised, I'm going to be cleaning our birdhouse that I have not cleaned out yet. I left this one here uncleaned out just so that I can do it live with you guys. So as I'm getting ready, because since I'm going to the Boy Scouts tonight, I want to make sure that I don't get anything on myself before we go and do that today. So I'm using this apron to protect any of my clothing from anything that might get on it during this process. I hope nothing, but you never know. Hey Angela, thanks for coming and joining us today. I miss you too. Hopefully we'll see you maybe this weekend or next weekend, right? All right. So obviously the tools that we need for the job is obviously a birdhouse, because today we're cleaning birdhouses. And we want to make sure that birdhouses that are up already, maybe that have been out all winter, are cleaned and ready at minimum by the end of March. So we are really down to the wire here. And if you're installing a new box, it's also a great time to do that at the end of before, or at least at the end of March. This gives you the best opportunity to try to attract birds to use the houses that you're providing. Okay, the longer they're up, the more time that they have to scope them out and check them out and see if they want to potentially be a tenant this season. So we got my house. I took this one off my pole, so it is on my advanced pole system out in the back of the store. But I have another one that's on a pole that is kind of an older pole, and it's really difficult to get off. So either I have to remove the screws that are holding the flange on to get the box off, or alternatively, what I did with that box, in fact, is I took my cleaning materials outside and cleaned it on the pole that it's on. So I didn't actually take it off at all. So, but this one, since I was easily able to take it off my pole with the quick release button, I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I have my house. Big important things that we need are gloves, okay, with dealing with wildlife, with different bacteria and viruses and things that wildlife does carry, including, you know, what might be in this box could be, you know, feces and mites and different other parasites that might be living in there. So it's always good to protect yourself. If you're, you know, have breathing problems or things like that, you might want to wear a mask, especially if you're cleaning it on a pole that's already out there. Inside here, and that it's down below me, I don't have it's unlikely that much debris will become falling in my face. But if you are cleaning outside, I would highly recommend cleaning your house downwind so it's not blowing the material in your face, right? Well, that won't be fun. So I got my gloves on. I'm going to pull up my sleeves just a little bit. I have some brushes here. Some brushes you might already have for the purpose of cleaning feeders or bird houses or even bird baths. These are all make really great tools, brushes to use for cleaning. This is obviously my bird bath brush, and this one is obviously one of my bird feeder cleaning brushes. This one is obviously a dish one that you would maybe use in your kitchen sink. However, these ones that I have are from our utility sink, and we do use these only for cleaning houses and feeders. So we never would recommend using the same brushes for cleaning your dishes that you use to eat with, that you would use the same ones for cleaning feeders. It's just, that's not good practice, and I would not recommend that, okay? So use a brush that you're not going to use to clean stuff in your own kitchen. Use something that is going to be dedicated for the task of cleaning wildlife feeders or houses, okay? I also have a towel here, but my towel here is mainly for once my feeder is done being cleaned, I can set it on something dry that will soak up any water or drips that might be coming off of it until I can either put it in back to dry completely. So that's what that's there for. Then you're going to need either a bucket or a bin. Today I have a bucket. This small bucket has a solution of hot water with Dawn dish soap and 10% bleach. Okay, so I'm actually putting them both in one bucket for this task, although you could break it up and do water and dish soap and then do a 10% bleach solution separate, or even use vinegar. So that option is there, but for the sake of today, I'm doing them all in one, and that is okay. So the first step I'm going to grab my garbage real quick. 1 second. I intended to bring a garbage can over, or at least a garbage bag over, because this first step is probably the messiest part of the whole bit, okay? And that is removing any of the debris that is in the house. So this one, I know, it's full and has a beautiful made nest in there. I know that my wrens were in here. They were in my square wren house first last year, and then they had their second brood in this box. So kind of exciting. So I know for sure that the nest that's in this box is absolutely a wren's nest, because I watched the whole process last year. It's really, really fun, from them building the nest to fledging. It's absolutely beautiful. But okay, so the first step is to remove all that debris. So I'm going to do it over my house or my trash can't here, but if you're doing this elsewhere, if you're doing it outside, you could honestly just pull it out and either toss it in a garbage that way, or even just put it on the ground, let it go and do its thing, right? Happy Friday, Brian. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right, so I'm going to pull out this nest. It's tightly compact, so you do have to use a little bit of force in it. I was going to try to bring it out so it was in one piece, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that with how tightly packed this one is. Let's see. You see all the feathers and stuff in here? Oh, I think I got it majority out. We're going to get to see it. How beautiful. Look at how intricate this nest is. I'm going to bring it over the trash, but look at how beautiful. Of course, there is a little bit of tufts of feathers and whatnot in there, but it's absolutely stunning. The intricacy of nest building is absolutely stunning, isn't it? It's the coolest thing ever. And these birds are doing it all. They're little architects in their own right, right? So how cool is that? That's one of the fun parts of cleaning out your nest boxes, getting to see the true art that is within. So how cool is that? So that's here. And then of course in the remainder of my box is a few extra sticks and things. I'm going to just start pulling those out, give it a good shake, see if I can get as much of that stuff out as possible. I want to try to get as much possible out. So sometimes it's just kind of shaking it, getting any pieces out that I can with my hands. Another good tip is to use a dried brush. So I'm going to use one of these dry brushes before I even get them wet. I'm just going to move it around and kind of dust out the rest of that. You can tell, I don't know if the video is capturing it, but there is a lot of dust and debris that is actually coming out of this from doing this. And by brushing it out ahead of time, it's kind of making it a little easier for you to clean out. It's also going to make it not such a dirty process when you do get the water involved. So I like to kind of give it a nice good scrubbing, shake it out as best as you can. I'm going to do one more brush on the bottom because there's quite a lot of stuff down there. Alrighty. Alright, this is now what we're left with. Alright, so you see a little bit of, fecal matter and things like that, but the box for the most part is pretty empty and pretty clean, and that's exactly what we want. So now that we're done with that step, move my garbage bag over here. And now time's for cleaning. Now, I think one year I did dunk my house in water, and that is perfectly fine. It's not going to matter. The idea is that you want to give it a nice, thorough scrub. You're removing any dirt and debris, but you're also removing any viruses and bacteria that might be in the house. You're removing any fecal matter that might be in the house, any other material and unnatural, not very healthy things for nestlings to be around. So that is what the purpose is. So whether that's you dunking it and cleaning it completely or doing it outside, it does not matter. Either way will work. This is also a great time to inspect your house to see if there are any sharp or dangerous broken parts on your house. So that's why I really like to get hands on and clean my houses before nesting season to make sure that I'm giving the best possible home for my birds. So today I'm going to take one of my scrubbers and I'm going to dip it in my solution here and I'm going to start cleaning it. So I'm just going to scrub it up. I'm going to start with this front panel because that one where it had all that white stuff on it, right? The fecal matter and stuff. I'm going to give that a nice good scrub. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you do soak it in water. That does not matter if obviously if it's on a pole and you're not taking it off. It might be a little challenging to do that. So it does not matter. You can just soak your tool and dip it in there and then put it back into the house and give it a good scrub. And that's what we're doing here. But I do like to get the outside and the inside of the house, because even on the outside, as the birds are clinging and the young are starting to look out the hole, it's a great way to kind of clean up anything and bacteria that is, could be potentially harmful to those birds. So we're going to give it a nice good scrub inside and out before I put this back outside, because I think it will dry faster inside if I just left it to dry. Inside my store here, but it could be at home. You can leave it out, or you can put it out. The important thing, though, is that it is completely dry before you add anything to it, like maybe nesting material like twigs and grasses, or wood chips or moss, kind of depending on the species that you're trying to attract, right? So we want to make sure that it's nice and clean, that we give the birds a safe, healthy home to start their new family in. I'm going to do this last side, and I'm going to pick it up so you can see exactly what it's starting to look like. You can probably tell as I'm picking up my brush how dirty it looks, but I'm just really scrubbing the inside, making sure that I'm getting all the edges and parts. If it's easier, you could remove this door, but between all my brushes here, I know I can get every angle of this house. But these houses with these hinged doors do have that screw. This one is over here and over here. You could do that, undo that screw, and then you could remove this door and have much more access to the house to kind of get in there and clean. I'm also going to use this guy, this one brush, because this brush I know can get in some of those areas that are a little bit shaped differently and more tricky for that dish brush to get in. So I'm going to go on up here with this one and go on the top side. You can put nesting material inside, absolutely. I would just do a little bit. Likelihood that they might end up taking it out anyway or building on top of it. But if you know the type of bird that you are trying to attract, you might be able to figure out, for example, chickadees. Chickadees like either a little bit of wood chips and or moss in there. And it's not a lot. You're just it's kind of like you're putting out a small start. They can say, oh, it already has moss in it. It's moving ready. You're just kind of giving them an idea of that this is going to be a great nesting location. So it's not meaning like you're not filling it to the gills. It's just putting a little bit of material in there to say, hey, wouldn't this be a great house to live in, right? To start the family in. Some of the work's already done for you. And that's exactly what you want. I'm going to make sure that the inside panel, that's another really important side, the inside of the front panel where the hole is. That's what I'm getting right now. It's a really good spot to try to give a good scrub on. Perfect. That looks good. Now I'm going to do the front side of my house, and I'm just going to scrub that. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions on cleaning or providing that nesting material. We do carry wood chips and like the fluffy nesting material here, but sometimes moss and other material, natural nest material that's available in your own yard is just as good. Obviously, it kind of depends on the species that you're trying to attract. I'm going to do that hole really good. Make sure that hole is nice and squeaky clean to see little baby faces coming out of it soon. Make sure that door panel is really good where they climb. All right, I'm going to show it to you. Make sure that those vents, I think I pushed something down there. rinse out really good. Oh yeah. All right. That's looking real good. All right. I'm going to show you what the house looks like. So there is suds in it, right? I cleaned all around it, front, back, sides, especially on the inside. This is the perfect time where you're going to rinse. You want to rinse it really, really well. And for the purpose of this video, I don't have another bucket ready, but I will rinse it once we get off live. But the important thing is that you want to make sure that the house is completely dry before you add any nesting material in there. So, for example, for me, if I were to finish cleaning this and place it outside right now, I mean, it will be wet, right? The inside of it's going to be wet. The outside is going to be wet. It probably wouldn't be a great idea to put nesting material in there that might get wet and start getting moldy. So my recommendation is to leave it inside if you're cleaning inside. Okay, if you're cleaning outside, just open up all the doors that you can and let that thing air out as best as you can. Okay, in a couple days or so, as long as we don't have a lot of wet, rainy weather, it should dry and then be ready to be closed back up, locked up, and ready to go. Don't forget to put a little bit of nesting material in there to, encourage tenants to stay. So that's that. You guys have any other questions on cleaning nest boxes? Because truthfully, this is the time to do it. This is like the end. This is the time, right? When we're talking about mid to end of March, this is it. Okay, this is the best time to clean out the boxes, to put out new boxes, so that you can have the best chances to attract the birds that you're trying to get to nest in there. Okay, the longer they have to see it and to explore it, to find it, right, the more chances you have to host a family this year. So I encourage you guys to get out there and get cleaning. I know this weekend might be a little bit cold, but if you can bring it inside, it's really not that tricky and hard to do. Like I did it on this little table inside the store. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Doesn't take a lot of supplies to, and you're sure making those birds going to be really safe, really healthy, and you're giving probably the best chances at success right from the start by having a clean nest box that's safe without extra nesting material in there that could be dirty and have debris in it and things like that. You're going to do the best for your birds. And I think it's so rewarding to watch the next generation of young grow up right in front of you. It's one of the most rewarding things I've ever seen in my life. It is so cool. So I highly recommend that you try it out. We have a ton of houses here. I know I'm standing right in front of our wall of all those houses, but we have types for many different types of birds, even kestrels. So if you're looking to provide a screech owl, eastern kestrel house, we have those too. We have bluebirds. We have boxes for pretty much any type of bird that uses a nest cavity, except for some of our bigger owls. Although we can get them. So if you would like one, we can special order it for you. But it is a special order. We don't carry them in stock in the store. So if you're interested, let's put one up. It's so fun. Are you guys watching any of the nest cams? On our website, we have a link to all of our YouTube channels that we love to watch here in the store. So many of them are nest cams. We have a couple feeder cams that we have on there. And then something new that I've been working on is moving all of our Friday Live videos onto our YouTube page, because Facebook now won't allow videos to stay up past a month. So to make sure that you guys have ample time to re-watch the lives, I have those videos saved so that you can go back and watch them on our YouTube account. And again, to find our YouTube account, the easiest way is to go on our website, and on the left-hand side where the menu is will be a YouTube. Right now it's just the YouTube favorite nest feeder cam and nest cams. and that link will take you to our YouTube channel, and you can both look at all those cams our favorite cams to play in the store, but also you can find all of our playlist for our Friday Lives. So right now I only have like 3 up there, but I'm working really hard to get the rest of them all on before the official rule goes into effect and I lose all the videos that we've done in the past. So I'm going to try to put every single one of them on there that we've done in the past. So keep your eyes out there for that. Don't forget, come in the store and check out the cool events that we have going on. We have a lot of cool events happening. Don't forget Who Haven will be here next Saturday, not this Saturday. They'll be here on the 29th. And Kelsey Shaw will be here on the 30th, that's Sunday at 1 p.m. to talk about creating a pollinator paradise. He is, if you don't know Kelsey Shaw, he's the co-owner of Possibility Place Nursery. So one of our largest, largest in the Midwest native plant growers. And he's an expert at what he does, and he will talk to you all about how to create that pollinator paradise. And pollinators include hummingbirds, but there also are bees and our native butterflies that we rely on to do pollination. And you can create a paradise for them right in your backyard by including the types of plants that they are most attracted to. So if you want to learn all about how to doing that, I highly recommend you coming in for that 30th, the 1 p.m. Sunday presentation that he has going on. Call a store to reserve your seat. But we'd love to have you. All of these are free. All of our events are usually free, especially the presentations. They're open to the public. So be sure you come in and check out that. And again, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them probably this weekend, because tonight I'm going to go talk to the Boy Scouts. I'm talking to the Plainfield Boy Scout pack about bird conservation and things like that. So that's why we went early live today, but we'll be back at 5:30 next Friday. All right, guys, you have a great Friday, great weekend. Enjoy your birds, and hopefully you're prepared for nesting season, or about to be after today's live. And we'll see you next Friday. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.